Make co-host. Yes. Okay.
Say something.
Okay. Yes.
If everybody closes their videos, you will have less problems while somebody is talking.
Okay. I will ask that when introducing the contest so that we have no problems.
Okay.
Maria, what time is the contest starting? Jeremy here. What time is the contest starting?
It's supposed to have started 10 minutes ago.
Yes. Are you starting now?
Yes. But
Yeah,
I'm
they are
wait.
trying to-
I just want to see if the contestants are here. Can the contestants
Yeah.
raise their hands, please?
Yeah, Venura has not joined us yet, I think, because he's having a difficulty joining. I'll tell him to join now.
I will just pin the contestants' videos. Okay. So I see them. So I have Mihai, Gracie, well, Jamie B. I think this is not a contestant. Unpin.
Sorry, this is Alison. I will rename again.
Okay, okay, sorry.
Yeah, this is Alison Lin. I rename
Okay,
again.
then Alison. Okay, so I have 4 contestants. Just Venura is missing. Is he still having problems? Okay, so Alison, the sequence of contestants, I made the randomized decision with the program, and it is Mihai first, then Venura, Grace is the third one to speak, fourth is Trisha, and you'll be the last one to speak. Okay. Is Venura here?
Recording in progress.
Okay, I started recording. Okay, sorry. I'm with the co-host. Done. Do we have any information on Venura? Was he able to reconnect? Joined. Okay, he joined. Venura, can you raise your hand so I can pin your video and I don't lose you in the middle of all participants? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we have all 5 contestants. We will then start with the social awareness speech contest. I'm recording, let me check. Does anyone need to be co-host? No. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to make a brief introduction to the contest. I've told you some things in the meeting, but I will repeat them. I actually told you one wrong thing, you will see. So first of all, can you all hear me and see me? Yes? Timer is Banpeng, no? Yes, okay, so you hear me, you see me. I will follow Heta Peterson suggestion and ask you all to switch off your, not only your microphones, but also your cameras. So we have as minimum interferences as possible. Okay. So my name is Maria Beira. I was already introduced, and I will be your contest master today. I'd like to start by welcoming our 5 finalists, our judges, which I hope were able to enter this session. Yes. And of course, the audience. Okay, so Banpeng is, okay. I will ask the contestants to pin the video of Banpeng. He will be the timer. I will call him in a minute. He will tell you exactly how he's going to reference the time for you, but you should pin the video so you can follow what he's doing. So as it was pointed out yesterday by Rajendra, plagiarism will not be tolerated and will get you disqualified. Technical issues will be tolerated for a maximum of 5 minutes. So if you get disconnected in the middle of your speech, do not panic, just reconnect within 5 minutes and you may continue your speech without being disqualified. And as you know, the speaking time is 7 minutes and will be monitored. So I will now ask Banpeng to explain how he's going to reference the time for you and at which moments you will show the background. Banpeng? I also have to pin Banpeng. Okay, I can see your green color. But I don't know if you're talking, Banpeng, but you are muted. Yellow and red, yes. So what was decided was you will see the green card after 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At 6 minutes, you will see the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, you will see the red card, after which you have a grace period of no more than 30 seconds. If you exceed 30 seconds, this will also get you disqualified. Okay, so thank you, Banpeng. We can see you perfectly. I have you all pinned in my screen. Maybe the audience would like to do the same because it's easier to follow. So the contestants will deliver their speeches according to the randomized order determined before the contest. In this case, I told you it's Mihai, Venura, Gracie, Trisha Mara, and Allison. I'll invite you to take the digital floor following the following procedure. First of all, I will call out your name and then ask you to repeat after me, proud to be an Agorian. After which I will confirm whether or not your sound and image are okay. Next, I'll announce your name again and the title of your speech. And finally, I'll yield the floor to you. You may take 2 or 3 seconds before you start. When you are finished speaking, please do not forget to mute yourselves again. All right, so good luck for all the 5 contestants of the Social Awareness Speech Contest. Without further ado, let me call out our first contestant, Lungu Mihai Adelin. I hope I said it correctly. I asked them their names in the meeting previously, from Agora, Romania, which is club number 136. Lungu Mihai, repeat after me, proud to be an Agorian. Can you unmute yourself and repeat this sentence? Proud to be an Agorian, so we can check your sound and image. Well, the image seems to be okay. Ah, you cannot unmute yourself? Well. Okay.
Proud to be an Agorian.
Okay, maybe can you come closer to the screen?
Proud to be an Agorian.
Okay. Sorry, just go back again, because I think I misheard what you were saying because you were moving.
Proud to be an Agorian.
Okay, it's perfect. Does anyone have a problem with the sound? No. I will ask Venura to switch off the video camera so there's as less interferences as possible. And so your image and sound are okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on this virtual Zoom stage, Lungu Mihai Adeline with Recycle Humanity. Everyone, Recycle Humanity by Lungu Mihai Adeline.
Imagine you are cursed to live with a rope tied around your hands for the rest of your lives. Just like me. Or imagine your hands were cut off right in front of everyone. And now, please imagine this utopic world that has to follow an unusual rule. The newborn babies whose parents have previously trespassed the law in any way will have their hands cut off right after they're born. After that, they'll have to try and fit in among those who are perfectly healthy, because no designated schools exist for these poor children. They are obviously bullied by their classmates, and they have to learn how to do basic tasks by themselves without using their hands. Just try to think how hard their lives are. Some of them will isolate themselves and will have no opportunities to develop and to live a prosperous life, while others will maybe be rebellious and somehow end up in jail. Well, the world that you have just imagined is the world we're living in. Let me explain that to you. If you've ever read or watched documentaries about serial killers, you've probably figured out a pattern or a common factor, and that is a traumatic childhood. Abusive, drunk, careless parents that cannot manage to make ends meet. No supervision, no expression of love whatsoever, and all that stuff. Well, you know, the kid isn't really aware of that endless trauma that he's exposed to. But those awful experiences pile up inside and simply explode in the most gruesome ways. Because, you know, they start off slowly by killing and dissecting animals. And those are not really basic things that children do, I guess. But then things get worse and worse. And you know what I'm talking about. But however, things don't necessarily have to go that far. And let me give you an example. Everyone has had their failures, right? Or their moments when they weren't the first in some irrelevant school competition. And in those moments, I'm sure that everyone has been told by their parents something like, oh, but how come your friend can score that much and you cannot? And then, in the exact opposite situation, something like, why would you compare yourself to the others? You should only focus on yourself. On top of that, we've all been put a strain upon. We've all been told that we should be extremely careful of our behavior and that we shouldn't do this or that or wear this or that so that we don't become a complete disgrace to the family. And to make matters worse, we've all heard about teenagers that have to pursue their parents' dream, despite the fact that they're not interested at all in that particular field. In most cases, these off-putting experiences occur during our childhood and youth, when we are just like sponges that absorb everything they're given, let them be good or bad things. A neuroscientist has actually said that we start accumulating experiences that ultimately define our personality a few months before we're even born. And therefore, parents had better be extremely careful and conscious of the way they treat their children. But unconsciously, they chop off their children's wings, just the way the newborn babies have their hands cut off in my story because of the reckless actions that their parents have done. Their future will raise countless challenges and hurdles, and it will take quite a while for them to fit in, or maybe they'll never even succeed in doing that. But you know what? The kids are not really to blame. They're just the miserable victims of a society that can't be bothered to grasp the importance of love and tolerance. And remember the rope? This is the endless trauma that children have to experience during their early years of existence because of their parents and colleagues. And even though it doesn't tie me anymore, this doesn't mean it's not still here. The truth is, the scars never really go away. Sooner or later, the pain will find its way back and will continue to haunt you forevermore. And now you, yes sir, you, the one sitting comfortably on your sofa and enjoying your coffee while listening to my speech, you have to change this. We all have to change this. Everyone should understand how pressing the need of tolerance is and how easy it is to implement, in fact. Just be tolerant with the ones around you. Show them that you care. Support your friends, your colleagues, your children, your neighbors in everything they do. Give them advice when you feel they need it. We all have our traumas. We've all been tied with ropes at some point. And this is the only way we can change this. And by doing so, I'm confident that we and the generations of parents to follow will never have to cut off our children's hands again, but rather buy them some gloves instead. Think about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihai. I won't be the judge of your speech, but I thought it was very good. Venura will follow Mihai. Venura Liandoda from Sri Lanka, club number 112. Venura, you can now switch on your camera and mic. Venura. Venura, can you all hear me? Oh, okay, sorry. Oh my God. Okay, so now you can switch also, you can switch on your microphone also, and you can repeat after me, proud to be an Agorian. Ah, I also have to unmute, sorry. Sorry, this is all new to me, so unmute.
Okay, can you?
It seems like you're still. This is not. Oh, you cannot unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me? I have unmuted myself.
Yeah, I can hear you, but for some reason the sound and image are not very synchronized. Are you, because this is your microphone here is muted. There's some kind of lag. Are you using
how
a
about
different
now?
microphone?
Yeah, can you hear me better?
I can hear you well, but the image and the sound are not synchronized.
Okay. Do you want me to change the microphone?
Yeah, maybe try to use the one on your computer and to see if it gets better.
Yeah. Can you give me a minute? Please give me a minute.
The rest of the audience and judges can also comment on this because maybe this is me and everything's okay. Can someone unmute Venura? You are unmuted now.
Yeah. Now I changed my mic yet.
Okay.
Is it okay? Is my video and audio are they different?
It's not spectacular, no. Is it good for anyone?
Okay. Audio is not clear. All right. So give me a minute. I will change my microphone. It will take only 1 minute. Give me a minute.
Okay. Okay. I will take this time to ask the contestants if anyone has a PowerPoint presentation or something that they need to share on Zoom. Okay, Venura, can you speak? No, ask to unmute. I don't know if I'm the host still because I don't seem to have a lot of privileges.
Yes. Can you hear me? How about now?
Yes.
It's better.
Speak. Say something.
Yeah,
Proud to be an
yes,
Agorian.
can you hear me? And how about now? I have changed the microphone.
Yeah, we can hear you, but the image is kind of lag. Yeah, it's frozen for me too.
Yeah, am I audible?
I don't know what would you say it's the correct thing to do now? Should Venura do his speech with the video in these conditions, or should we just?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like, am I not audible?
Your sound's good, but the image is just kind of frozen. But we can hear you very well.
Yes. Can anyone else also confirm? Like maybe Jeremy is from my club is there. Is my voice lagging and also my video? because for me, the contest shares
Je-
really like my
Jeremy, can you give your input? Jeremy, are you there? Ah, wait, he's muted. Oh no. Let me.
okay.
I don't have. Okay,
Hi.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you.
Can you do some action, Venura, and show that you are all right?
How about now? Like, can you see me move my hands, gestures, and my voice? Is everything okay? If not, I can try to change the connection and is everything okay? How about now?
Yeah. Can you mention proud to be a Agorian, please, with your hands extended?
All right. So proud to be a member of Agora Club. Yes.
Your actions are delayed. There's a
Yes.
delay in your actions.
All right. So if so, then can you give me another 1 or 2 minutes to change the connection? Maybe.
Or unless you come after the second speaker, we can give you a chance. And is it all right, Maria?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think for me, yes, if I'm not breaking any laws, I don't mind that. If the other contestants also do not mind.
Yeah,
it's
just
okay.
check with them, and if they don't mind, you can
Gracie,
take Venura.
Gracie, is it okay for you to go now instead of Venura? You. I don't know who unmutes, but
Hello?
hello.
Yep, is it my turn next?
Yes, your turn is next, but Venura is having some technical problems, so we were wondering if you could go now, if it's okay for you.
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Okay, then Venura, you can switch off your camera and mic, and we'll move on to Gracie, which was supposed to be the third one, but Venura has some technical issues to solve. And so I will ask you now, Gracie, to repeat after me, proud to be an Agorian.
Proud to be an Agorian.
Okay, your sound and video are okay. Let's give a round of applause to Gracie Angelino Oltono with her speech, Adopt or Abort. Everyone, adopt or abort Gracie Oltono.
Abortion. Once upon a 2018, when I was just 13 years old, I debated against abortion in a classroom debate and won. I was very proud of that victory, and I remember how I used to look at that trophy every day and admire it. You can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that I felt very smart for having won. When I was 15 years old, just a few months ago, I look back at this memory from when I was 13, and boy, did I cringe. In my head, I was a 13-year-old capitalist, fascist, patriarchy-loving little turd. Because how on earth could anyone possibly harbor any sort of love for the pro-life movement? All for the sake of a trophy. Today, I look back and I realize that 13-year-old Gracie didn't even know what a Democrat was, much less the fight that many women fight on a day-to-day basis for the right to her own autonomy. Today, I look back and I realize that 15-year-old Gracie was thinking more with her heart than with her brain. See, I thought that the only right way was to be pro-abortion and everyone else was wrong and or stupid. I am still pro-abortion to this day, but I am also different. Today I look back, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, fellow friends and speakers, and stand before all of you to say why, like most things in life, the two extreme ends of the spectrum, like black and white, the two extreme viewpoints, like adopting a strictly pro-abortion or a strictly pro-life stance, isn't necessarily the way to go. Now, the belief over the years is that abortion is a strictly feminist movement. But to a certain extent, ladies and gentlemen, conversations you have with a pro-lifer look much different than just abortion is sin, abortion is murder, and you will rot in hell. No, we've come much further than that, actually. And you'll find that many against abortion are, in fact, feminist. In fact, some argue that abortion on demand just promotes a women on demand mentality, regarding it as a way for men to have sex with women without having to take any real responsibility for resulting children, by getting the women to risk their lives in what were then dangerous operations to prevent the child from being born. Likewise, restricting abortion doesn't stop it from happening at all. In Western Europe, where abortion is generally permitted, the abortion rate is 12 for every 1,000 women of fertile age. In Africa and Latin America, where abortion is illegal, the rate is 29 per 1,000 women and 37 per 1,000 respectively. So you see, it's double, even triple the number. Criminalization only results in 3 things, and none of these 3 things are good: clandestine abortions, unsafe practices, and overall, more deaths. So, what do we do? What can we do? And the big question, how can you help? Abortions are just a symptom of a much greater social issue. And to be truly progressive, we need to look at the problem at its roots. What women need for equality is not just free access to abortion, but to be given what they need to survive financially and socially as mothers. Because remember that being pro-choice means giving women the right to choose. The philosophy or stance that I urge all of you to consider is an objective one. Not just black and not just white, but put them together and you get gray. We need to force the people in power to act and divert their attention to the more serious social issue at hand. We need to stop criminalizing abortion and make it available to the women who need it. But we also need to stop using this as a means of an easy way out and give working mothers an equal opportunity to be thriving career women. That's what I'd like to see. We need to divert more money to prevent these people from getting pregnant in the first place. The silence of friends hurts more than the words of enemies. An unwanted pregnancy could happen to anyone, and no contraceptive is 100% effective. So the next time you hear the big bad A word, abortion, let your head and not your heart do the thinking. Speak up, because as long as everyone believes in the power of their words, then you are not a drop in an ocean, but an entire ocean in a drop. This is all it takes for you to make a difference. So set aside your privilege, question your beliefs and whether or not you believe them. Because at the end of the day, metals are just metal, but your thoughts are power. Our thoughts influence our words and our words influence our actions. So let that sink in. Let that fuel your empathy and your action. And when given the choice, because there is never a time when we don't have a choice, always choose to be objective. If all I've done today was open your eyes and ears to the more objective stance, then I'd say that I've accomplished what I came here to speak for. And all of us, from Mike Nicholson to Diana Popa to Gabriella Laszlo to Bunpeng, we are on our way to achieving greater plateaus together, one step at a time. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you very much, Gracie. That was amazing. Again, not a judge. But now we are going, I don't know if Venura was able to solve his problem, but otherwise we can move on to contestant number 4, Trisha Mara. Trisha, are you there? Oh, no. Trisha is not there. Venura, can you present your speech now? Let me unpin Gracie. And can someone unmute Venura? Okay. Alison can go. Okay, thank you, Alison. We'll just try to change the order as less as possible. Venura, can you share your video? I cannot hear you. Did you say something? I'm not hearing you. Is anyone else having the same problem? Can someone listen to Venura? Because I can't.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Well, oh, yeah, but it's
How about now? Can you hear me?
a lot of feedback. You have it close to something. We can hear the feedback.
Feedback? Yes.
Yeah. Can you move the microphone around? Where do you have it? Is the lapel one or it's on the desk? Wow, it's crazy. Crazy feedback. Can you plug it out and in again, like Coco is suggesting?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but there's so much feedback noise.
All right. So I'll try
Guys,
to
like,
if you don't mind.
okay, so Trisha, were you able to log in? Trisha, admin, mute. Okay. Okay, Trisha. Are you ready to go now? Sorry for this mess up with the order. I have to unmute you. Yes, she's muted. Okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm hearing myself. Not anymore. Okay. Oh. Trisha is muted. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to Trisha. Trisha Mara Yasmin Kirana from Agora, Indonesia. Club number 69. Trisha Mara, repeat after me. Proud to be an Agorian.
Proud to be an Agorian.
Okay, there's also some lag, but not as much as Venura. Can you say it again? Proud to be an Agorian?
Proud to be an Agorian. Is it clear?
So yeah, the sound is clear, but it's like your image is not following. A bit like
Oh, I
Venura.
see.
But is this my problem? Is anyone else detecting this? Is it me? And your mic's a bit loud. Pampeng suggests you don't amplify the sound so much. I think if you go to the audio Zoom settings, you can reduce your microphone.
Well, at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
How about
Trisha.
now?
I think it's better. Pampeng, what do you think? Yeah, it's good. Okay, so let's give a warm round of applause to Trisha Mara with her speech, Just Be Positive. Everyone, put your hands together for Trisha Mara Kirana with Just Be Positive. Good luck.
Have you ever been told to keep this endless stream of happiness and joy? To always look on the bright side of life and to not dwell on the negative aspects? Because just by having happy thoughts, rainbows and sunshines will certainly come fluttering in your way and all your problems will be solved in an instant. But now, imagine putting yourselves in the shoes of my friend, who we will call Cristo. He got fired from his dream job. Suddenly, Cristo's partner decided to break up because their relationship wasn't working out. And then he found out that a beloved relative had just passed away due to sickness. So much grief and sadness is running through him that he simply just couldn't take it anymore. But as he is crying out all this pain and sudden hardships to his friend, they cut him off and say, hey, man, I know this is hard, but everything happens for a reason, you know? So just look on the bright side and be positive. Now, if you were Cristo, do you think that was helpful? Do you think that statement right there will leave you feeling any less sad than you are now? Well, suffice to say, it's not for myself, and perhaps many others who have found themselves in this situation. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow judges, this is the unspoken yet very common truth known as toxic positivity. An assumption made either by oneself or others that despite a person's emotional pain or difficult situation, they should always maintain a positive outlook towards these events. Now, you may have found a couple of holes, like, what am I trying to say here? Is being positive actually a bad thing? Are we supposed to just give in to negative emotions that's swallowing us whole? Well, according to stats from the World Health Organization, depression is the leading cause of disability. 1 out of 4 people suffer from mental illness, with 50% of these mental illnesses starting at age 14. And the cause of this issue can be deeply rooted to toxic positivity. How is that, you ask? Now, of course, being optimistic and engaging in positive thinking is important. But when a person that just went through an emotional stage of their life gets sprinkled with only happy one-liners saying, just think happy thoughts, you'll get over it soon, or just get through it, be positive. This is when it becomes a real issue. Of course, people mean well when saying these things, but often it somehow feels like hearing a cry for help from someone who's stuck in a 3-story burning building, and all the people do is shout, hey, it's just a bit of fire, all you gotta do is smile and everything will be fine. instead of actually going out to attempt rescue. It is downright dismissive behavior, and it hurts. But sadly, those on the receiving end has nothing to say about it and start to believe that the fire and rubble happening behind them is never worth mentioning. And so they bottle it up by creating false, cheerful facades, rejecting any forms of sad and difficult emotions, slowly becoming harmful for their own mental well-being. For the longest time, we've been built from the ground up to believe that staying happy is always the answer, even if you've just been through an undeniably painful phase of your life. And while we should always strive to be happy, we often leave out the most crucial emotions, such as sadness, anger, grief, because we simply think there's no room for them. And so we tell ourselves to just stay positive, while going for the fake it till you make it attitude, refusing to face reality as it is, creating more artificial smiles than real ones. So now you ask, what can we say that counterpoints toxic positivity? Back again to Christo's story, after he cried out everything that he has been through to me, I said these words as a response. Instead of saying, just get through it, be positive, I said, it's never great to feel that way, but I'm glad that you told me. And again, instead of saying, just think happy thoughts, you can say, things can get tough, but remember, I'll always be here for you. This proves that language plays a very huge role in leaving an everlasting impact. Words of validation is what people need to hear in their trying times, and toxic positivity just blocks any path for people who are willing to talk about their struggles. As a homeschooler myself, I was also belittled for not going to a formal education. People said how I couldn't have friends and how incapable I am of doing anything. But as I told this to a close friend of mine, all they said was, oh, come on, Trisha, it's just a small problem. Why do you have to be so upset about it? We just left it at that. This is something that we all need to recognize, to take that moment of vulnerability and allow ourselves and others to open up about our struggles. Because sometimes just by being there for someone is far greater than giving any life-changing piece of advice. So remember how we are all human, and having emotions is also part of being human. Many try to demonize negative emotions when in reality, they need to be recognized, validated, and understood. Only when we can truly accept sadness, fear, loneliness, and all of these negative aspects can we finally experience a shoulder to cry on. And tell them that they are worth it, that you will be there to listen to them, and that you're always open for any struggles that they are willing to share. Back to you, contest chair.
Thank you, Trisha. And now I think we'll move on to Alison Lim. Yes, Alison, are you there? Alison? Alison, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, good.
I cannot see Banping, so
No, you have to right click on his video. No, on the three dots that appear on the top right
no, I
corner.
can't find his video. That's the key.
You can find
his.
Then in
I
the list
cannot
of
find
it's changing the background. You'll see the green, red, and yellow cards.
yeah, very strange. I cannot find him. One thing, where are you?
Maybe I can try something. This spotlight thing. Okay, I will spotlight Banpeng.
Yeah, but I still have to find his. Oh,
Can
yeah,
you see
I-
Banpeng now?
no, strange.
No.
Okay, fine.
Then we go back to.
Sorry, just a minute. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I can see him. Great.
Okay.
Ping, I found you. Okay.
Okay. So I will now also pin Banpeng. And
Oh, my thing was I cannot. I'm frozen
Okay.
here. Okay.
hit pin. Okay. So we're ready.
Yes.
Okay, so Alison Lim from Agora Singapore, which is club number 39. Alison, please repeat after me. Proud to be an Agorian.
Proud to be an Agorian.
Oh my God. I'm having some sound issues and video issues. I don't know if it's just me.
Oh, proud to be an Agorian. So the video has a problem as well. Oh.
Yeah. Can someone say whether this is just me?
Yeah, I think the bandwidth now suddenly is also low, maybe because of the time. I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, your voice is okay. Yes.
Oh, I need my background. Oh, yeah, it was quite strong earlier until 1 o'clock. It gets going. Just a minute. I just try something else. I get my daughter to try something else.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Can you see me better now?
Yeah, a bit better, but not
Not
very well. I mean, if you do very sudden
I'm putting on to
movements,
4. I'm actually using my 4G right now because the bandwidth, I think after 1 a.m. somehow it went lower. I don't know.
okay, so I guess Banpeng is out.
He's also out. Maybe the Singapore network is not working well, but I'm on 4G right now. Yeah, I cannot see Banpeng again.
Yeah, because he's left the Zoom.
Oh, Banpeng left the Zoom. Oh dear.
Banpeng is out.
My Wi-Fi is also the same
So
way.
some people can see you well. Maybe it's just me. Why?
Oh dear. Still not there.
Wait a second, Alex. So what should I do? It's because there are problems. People are the internet's very unstable apparently.
You know,
And
the Wi-Fi now became
lost
slow.
connection.
Yeah, maybe the whole of Singapore is in this state right now.
I don't know what's happening in Portugal, but
oh dear.
Does somebody else?
Let me try the Wi-Fi again, because, yeah. Is this any better? Is this any better? No.
I mean, for me, your audio sounds okay, very clear. But someone else has complained about the audio. It's just the image that is not. It's like not following your movements, especially when you do some sudden movements with your hands.
Yes, when I want to do this, you see?
Yeah, I saw, but it was delayed.
Not clear.
No, it was clear, but it's delayed. Like you say, you
okay.
see, and I see 5 seconds after you do it.
Oh dear.
Oh, Banpeng is back. So for the ones that can see Alison clearly, maybe you should record should videotape the speech.
We should videotape.
Oh, so some people are seeing the same as I'm seeing, but there's
Should I
someone.
videotape?
Well, if you're seeing yourself, well, but probably it should be someone else.
This I can see. Mine is quite clear, but yeah, no. Okay.
It's more or less.
More or less. So what do we do? Now
Should we
I'm back onto
proceed?
the up
Alison
to, yeah.
got to speak.
I
Okay,
just go
so
ahead.
let's move on. Yeah.
I want to find Banpeng again also.
I think Banpeng is back. Yeah.
Banpeng, you
Okay,
have a green
Banpeng
color
is
on?
changing the colors. Yeah, it's
Oh,
changing
wait.
the colors.
He's at the front. All these ones at the back are non-video.
Okay, let's
I cannot
move
find
on
Banpeng
then.
still.
Whoever you cannot find, I have to spotlight.
Banpeng. Yeah.
Spotlight. Can you see him now?
Oh, okay. Now I see him.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Now I have
Just let
see
me-
you. Alice. Oops.
No, he's clicking yellow now. So I
Did
cannot
Did you
see
pin
him.
the video?
I cannot see Banpeng.
That's him.
Yeah, I know, but I can. You pin him, but now I cannot see him on the.
You cannot see him on the screen. It's not.
I can see him
it's
on
not,
the screen,
it's
but I
not
can't
me.
see myself anymore.
Oh, okay. You have to
You
pin
pin me
his
again?
video. Let me
Okay.
spotlight.
Yeah.
Did you find him?
Yep. Okay. Now I can see it.
It's,
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
But
Now I cannot see my thing, but I will add a pin. Add pin. Okay, now I see you both.
okay.
Okay, good. So let's move on. And
we just-
Alison was supposed to be our last contestant, but we still have Venura. Alison Lim is from Agora Singapore, Club 39. Alison, we have tested your camera and sound, not perfect, but I'm sure someone will record this, someone who's listening and watching you properly. So let's give Alison a warm round of applause with her speech, My Journey. Everyone, Alison Lim, My Journey.
2012, London. The air was filled with excitement for the Summer Olympics. The Mexican restaurant was buzzing with people and the salsa beat. I went to a waiter and asked for more Guatemala. He gave me a strange look and shook his head. I repeated myself, Guatemala, please? And stressing more firmly and louder, Guatemala. He walked away. I returned to the table, fuming. No Guatemala. My daughter said, Mom, you mean guacamole? What did I say? 3 years later, I asked my husband to please bring me my notebook beside my phone. He said, your phone is with you. I meant the bed. Why did I say the phone? My language got more interesting. The car became the phone, the table became the phone, put the car in the key, and put the table on the plate. Whoa, time for a checkup. The neurologist assured me that I am in perfect condition. In fact, a little better than him in a few areas, but called for some blood tests just in case. Finally, in his own words, we can put you through a MRI test if you insist. The radiologist reported that there was no incident, but the neurologist, knowing how insistent I am, had a closer look with another colleague. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Meet my vibrant brain and the little not so vibrant vacuum in the left. I was sent to a neuropsychologist, put through a PET scan to assess my brain activity. The neuropsychologist confirmed, you do not have Alzheimer's. Great, but you have primary progressive aphasia dementia, meaning words will disappear, vamoose, and later sentences. And then other parts of your brains will be affected. Because you are between 35 and 65, you are a YOD, young onset dementia member. I was told to prepare my will, get my lasting power of attorney done. Average lifespan, 5 to 8 years. Any extension will probably be bedridden. I did not cry or scream, why me? I have worked with young and old since I was a kid, even people with mental issues. I also did quite a bit of research the year before for my sister-in-law's husband, Bart. He was diagnosed with dementia at 54, only after he nearly crashed his ship at the Rotterdam harbor. I myself went through 7 neurologists. Most were unsure, others shocked, and one apologized for not being able to help. But the top specialist in YOD said to me, you're fine. Unlike most of my other patients, you can come back in a year or 2. Feeling hopeful, I asked, what are your other patients like? Most of them can't talk anymore. And why would I want to come back? Support me, but to get me into their research programs. Yes, especially for my brain. Not for its talents, but to have a piece of it. Not knowing where to turn, I founded my own dementia and company, where I support families in their journey. Per WHO, 10% of people over 60 years old worldwide have dementia. It is the most expensive illness globally, and the depression and other effects on the extended families and the society are incalculable. The effect of YOD is far worse. Question: why did Robin Williams commit suicide? Robin Williams, the world-renowned actor, had access to the best doctors. Yet, until his death, he did not know that he had Lewy body dementia. Yes, I have dementia, and I'm really grateful for it. I'm happy I fought the diagnosis, fought to be diagnosed, and accepted it. I took responsibility and put my life in order as much as I can. And today, I'm having a far more fulfilling life and enjoying every function. Let me remind you, dementia does not respect age, gender, nor race. The National Neurology Institute of Singapore confirmed 60 YOD cases in 2013 and 245 in 2019, a 408% increase. This trend is worldwide. Think of Bart and Robin Williams, both YODs, trying to make sense of all the confusion inside and unable to articulate them. Imagine their loved ones suffering in fear, not knowing how to respond. Then imagine when the diagnosis for Bart and the postmortem for Robin came, the intolerable pain and guilt the families have to carry. All those questions. Why didn't we see it? The signs were there. There were so many signs. Why didn't we see it? There is no shame in having dementia. It is nobody's fault. So please do not inflict excess pain on yourself, your friends, your family, and God forbid, your kids. Put in your calendar right now that you will pursue more understanding of dementia and be keenly aware of its symptoms and support everyone in this journey. Trust me, you would hope that others have this knowledge should you have the issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alison. So I guess I will call Venura. I should say that we are now discussing a way of making this fair to the contestants because we are having a lot of interferences. The first speech was perfect in terms of in terms of the speech, but also the image and sound. Gracie's speech was also okay, not as good, but okay. Tricia was lagged and Allison's also lagged, and I'm guessing Venura could not solve his problem. But I mean, we need to wrap this up and then decide how to make a fair evaluation, maybe based on the videos, or we'll have to repeat the contest. I don't know yet. Okay, so Venura, are you there? Can someone unmute Venura?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me just pin your video so I can you talk? Proud to be an Agorian? Are you proud to be an Agorian?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, I don't know what you did, but it seems better. It's still not very good, but it's better than before. Not as lagged, at least for me. But keep in mind that keep in mind that we make this fair. We won't judge based on technical issues, of course. And we really need to wrap this up. So I'm just going to introduce Venura's speech to get this contest finalized. So, do you see Banpeng, Venura?
Yes. Yes, what do you want me to do?
Okay. So, okay, we have tested your video and sound. Sound is good, video not so much, but much better than before, I must say. So, Venura Liandola is from Sri Lanka, which is club number 112. And let's give him a round of applause because he's going to present a title which is the four-letter word. The title is the four-letter word. So help me welcome our last contestant for today, Venura Liandola, with the four-letter word.
Okay. I was about to enter into this room full of people. I had a piece of paper with all the key points of my presentation. It was with me in my hand, in my pocket. My heart was racing. My hands were shaking. I felt this strong energy in me where my body couldn't bear and my words barely describe. Do you know what that feeling is? I turned on my laptop to search on Google the strongest feeling in the world. Whoa! What? Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, the four-letter word appeared on my screen, brought a question to my mind. Could something so negative be the strongest? This world is made of miracles. The Taj Mahal, the Colosseum, Mona Lisa. There should be something good hidden inside this word which Google couldn't help me find. The other side of the story. That curiosity brought me back in time. I was a 15-year-old boy. There was only one thing in my life, the most famous sport in South Asia, cricket. At home, I watched cricket. At school, I played cricket. One day, my life changed when my father walked into my room to talk to me. He looked at me anxiously. And he said, "What is the meaning of this? You play cricket, you watch cricket, you are not doing anything else. Look at that son, that kid next door. He has come first in class. That boy has a future." 15-year-old me didn't feel it that much until he told me this. If you don't study, you'll fail the exam. And if you fail the exam, no job, no money, no car, and you will never, ever get married. Whoa! 15-year-old me getting married was everything. Those words went right deep into my mind. On that moment, I felt that feeling once again. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. Even though I didn't know what it was, I remember what it could do. I had to choose. Choose the path that I never been to. My reading classes, which helped me study all day long. All I needed was to muster some courage to let go. And after 6 months, a miracle happened. Even though everyone thought that I failed the exam, I passed with flying colors because that feeling let me take off this glass only when I go to bed. In life, we all have encountered moments like this. Can fear, the four-letter word I found on Google, be the strongest feeling in this world? There are always two sides to a story, a superhero and a superhero, a Harry Potter and a Lord Voldemort challenge. Without this villain, we will never see the beauty of our hero. They complete each other by helping them identify their true colors. And what does fear truly want us to identify? Like a vehicle on the road, changing its path to somewhere new. The turn signal lights, letting you know just that matter of seconds it takes you to split towards a different path. Just like those lights, we have an indicator to help us find our destiny, our passion, and that is fear. All we need to muster some courage to start our passion, the journey. And what better feeling is like the feeling of excitement you have when you are living your life the way you want. And that's, my friend, the other side. Google could not help you. My friends, every time when you try something new, the four-letter word will be there to say hello to you. Are your hands shaking? Is your heart racing? But don't worry, because you're about to change the world. Muster some courage, take the first step, and let yourself in you. Over to you, Katisha.
Thank you, Benura. I would like to finish by congratulating all contestants. I hope this will be solved. I hope this doesn't reflect in your evaluation. You are all amazing. I wish I could speak as well as you do. And now my role is finished as a contest chair, and I will give the floor to whoever is going to introduce the next speaker or the entertainment section. Thank you.
Aisha Pokhrid, please continue.
Well, thank you so much for that contest. Well, finally, I'm here at Santistupa, and as Nepal represents the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, you will find peace at every corner of the country. It is the first four-piece pagoda in Nepal, and will definitely Santistupa adds beauty to Pokhara. I would like to call out from the place of peace, the ambassador of Portugal, and academically a physics PhD student who recognizes the importance of effective public speaking, namely in the dissemination of scientific research and for educational purpose. This platform, once again, I would like to hand over to Maria Beira. Sorry.
You probably had enough of me already, but I'll try to make short work of this. Let me just share my presentation. Well, not just yet. So first I'm going to tell you that one of my biggest problems when I started attending Agora meetings was that I took an enormous amount of time to decide the topic of my speeches. Recently, I came across the topic of cognitive biases, which is something that interests me. I'm not from the field of psychology, but I was always interested to know about how the brain works. And I was also happy to find out that there are more cognitive biases than there are Agora projects. So I could just pick one and use it as the topic of my speeches. Today, I'm gonna tell you about one of my favorite cognitive biases, which relates to our perception of competence. And I will start by telling you a little story. So in 1995, a man called MacArthur Wheeler robbed two banks in Pittsburgh, and he did so without any disguise and in broad daylight. He would even smile at the videotape cameras. So unsurprisingly, he was arrested later that same day. But, well, unsurprisingly for us, but he was very surprised because he kept saying, but I wore the juice. And what he meant was that he rubbed his face with lemon juice, and he was under the impression that this would render him invisible to videotape cameras, and he was completely unaware of his incompetence. So we made a stupid mistake, and he was completely unaware that it was a mistake, even after observing the videotape cameras, the videotapes. So this story inspired a study by Dunning and Kruger, which I absolutely encourage you to read. I put the reference at the bottom of my slide. And in this work, Dunning and Kruger conducted a series of experiments where they tested several abilities of the participants. and had them rate their performance afterwards. Here you can find 3 examples. You have the ability to recognize humor, logical reasoning, and grammar ability. This is the test scores, and this is the perceived ability by the participants. So when you compare the perceived ability with the actual test scores, it is clear across all tested areas that higher performing participants have a tendency to slightly underestimate their abilities. And this aspect was demonstrated to be a result of the fact that when someone finds a task very easy, they generally assume that it is easy for everybody else. But these students would rate themselves properly in comparison to their classmates once they saw the answers of the remaining participants. But what is even more striking is the fact that lower performing participants would largely overestimate their abilities. So you can see this huge difference right here. In fact, all groups provide an average evaluation that is consistent with everyone being above average. So this is always above 50. This means that in that class, every student would rate themselves as being above average. And this is a mathematical impossibility. But if you think about it, it is very rare to find someone who would rate themselves below average. Everyone just assumes they are average or slightly above. So the main conclusion of this work was very beautifully written, so I just put it in the slide and I'm read it for you. Those with limited knowledge in a domain suffer a dual burden. Not only do they reach mistaken conclusions and make regrettable errors, but their incompetence robs them of the ability to realize it. So if you think about grammar abilities, for example, I am now presenting this speech in English, which is my second language, and I obviously think that everything I'm saying is correct because I practiced it and I trained. So there's no reason why I would be saying something that I think is wrong, but I'm probably making a lot of errors, which could be detected by a native speaker or someone that speaks better English than myself, not by me. I cannot find my own mistakes when speaking English. This graph here is usually related to what is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. So in the vertical axis, you have confidence, and in the horizontal axis, you have competence. And there is no linear correlation between these two variables, unless we are speaking about this part of the graph right here. Also, one might have thought that it would make a lot of sense that as competence increases, confidence would also increase, but that's not what happened. In fact, when you train and gain a little competence on something, you tend to be overconfident on your performance, which corresponds to this stage right here. We were all here once, and we will continue getting here if we ignore the fact that we initially have a very biased perception of our abilities, like Dunning and Kruger demonstrated in their work. I remember, for example, coming out of high school, thinking that math was very easy. I was very good at math. And then I started studying engineering and going to calculus lectures. And I started feeling completely stupid because when I got out of high school, my idea of what math was a small book. But in fact, I lacked the knowledge of the extension of the topic. So math is a very extensive subject. And I thought I was very good at math because I had good grades in high school, as probably most of you also did. So as you learn, you start to understand that there is more to a topic than you had originally considered, until you reach this minimum where you think, well, I'll never understand this. This is just too hard. But if you keep training, things will actually start to make sense, and you will eventually reach what people call a sustainable plateau. which surprisingly is a lower confidence value than this part here. Just so you know, people usually refer to this point as Mount Stupid and to this point as Valley of Despair. I remember Drian's workshop yesterday when he showed us the 4 stages for mastery, 4 steps. I would probably add a 5th step, so we could add an additional step, which would be unconscious stupidity, when we just know a little bit, but we think we know everything. Just now, I was proven to be, well, I wouldn't say Mount Stupid, but after the contest, I thought all of the contestants were so good that I thought to myself, oh my God, I really have a lot to learn. There's still so much to learn here. Maybe you feel the same way. So I will leave you with a sentence from a scientist that is very inspiring to me, and who was quite aware that our brain plays tricks on us. And the scientist is Charles Darwin. And he says in his work, The Origin of Species, that the human brain is in large part a machine for winning arguments, a machine for convincing others that its owner is right, and thus a machine for convincing its owner of the same thing. So my final message would be, don't let your brains trick you. Be mindful of cognitive biases. Thank you.
We have reached Matapusre Base Camp. It is an amazing place to visit indeed. From Matapusre Base Camp, I'm calling Mr. Fred Jones. He's a Youth Agora Speakers Program Ambassador and works with the members of Agora Speakers International to help set up youth club programs throughout the world. He is also Agora Ambassador of Canada. So welcome, Mr. Fred Jones. Have your floor of Matapusre Base Camp.
Thank you. I finally unmuted. Could I be made co-host, please? I want to share a screen.
I'll do it.
Yes, please.
Sorry, we left the session again and I forgot to remake you co-host. It's done now.
Thank you. Hello, attendees of AgoraCon 2021. Those of you who are left, there's not that many, but you're the most important ones because you're listening to a speech or a workshop about international organization called Agora Speakers International, and I want to welcome you all the way from Canada. And we're all familiar, or very likely familiar, with our mission, which is Agora empowers you to become a brilliant communicator and a confident leader who will actively build a better world. Now, the title of this workshop is Dream, Learn, Do, and Become. And those 4 words, learn, or dream, learn, do, and become, are from my favorite quote about leadership. And that quote is, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And this quote has been attributed to many people over the years, everyone from John Quincy Adams, who's a historical American, to Dolly Parton, to Simon Sinek. And the purpose of today's workshop is to review that if we put those 4 words, dream, learn, do, and become, into our leadership practices in Agora Speakers International, it will assist us to meet our mission. And if we are going to achieve the mission, we need to be the best leaders we can be and help our members to become those communicators and leaders who will build a better world. So let's think about this. If your actions inspire others to dream more, they will visualize something that they're currently probably not doing, but they would like to do. And then, if you inspire them to learn more about that and how to reach that dream or that goal, and you encourage them to do it and try and reach it and persist and not give up, because you've helped them and they've dreamt more, learned more, done more, and become more, the more our leadership will help others to improve, the more impact we in Agora Speakers will have on the communities and on the world. And you know what? It brings us great joy when we help others. Helping others to success can be very, very satisfying. I believe we get more satisfaction from helping others than most other things in life. I find it more joyful than having possessions like maybe that new iPhone or a car or even a house. I believe when we help others, we feel fulfilled in our lives. So today, in this workshop, I want to review what I call creative leadership. So first of all, I will describe what I mean by creative leadership, and then mention a couple of people that I believe have demonstrated creative leadership who you might want to learn more about. And we'll also have some time for you maybe to make some comments and your thoughts about this approach to creative leadership. And then we finish up by describing a simple technique that you can start to use to practice creative leadership. So first, what is creative leadership? Well, it's like being a painter or an artist like Trisha. And it's like painting on a canvas, but it's blank. And some people might paint a landscape, or they might paint flowers, or they might paint a portrait like the Mona Lisa. But we're not working on a canvas. We're working with people. And when we work with people, the canvas is different because everyone is different. But a creative leader aspires to make others look good and do good and be the best they can be. And that is what creative leadership is about. It's about providing support so that others can become the best person they're capable of becoming. And when you clear the path for people around you, it also creates a path for yourself. And your reputation will become as the person who people want to work with. And they want to be in the same team as you. And that is what is meant when I state creative leadership. It is helping others to become the best person they can be. And also note that it's not about competition with anyone. It's about competing with ourselves. The goal is for us to be better than we were, say, last year, and improve each year so that our goals and our missions are reached. We want to keep on being the best we can be and help others be the best they can be. And I also believe that in Agora Speakers, we're not competing with any other organization. It's about looking at what we have done so far, review our goals, and keep on improving. So how does a leader assist others to become better? How can they make them be the best they can be? I've got a couple examples that I'd like to share with you. because I think they have demonstrated creative leadership, unlike most other leaders. The first person I'd like to talk about is John Wooden. See if you can see that, John Wooden. Now, John Wooden, if you may not know, was coaching the UCLA, or the University of California, Los Angeles basketball team. And in the last 12 years that he was their coach, they won 10 National Collegiate Athletic Association championships. And this is a record that no other college basketball team has ever got close to. And he emphasized the importance of process over outcome. It wasn't about winning. His ultimate goal was a steady improvement throughout the season for his team. And when you see an opponent after a game, you shouldn't know who won. It was about being the best person you can be, win or lose. He created and taught what's called the pyramid of success. Now, I know you won't be able to read the words, but you can look this up. Just type in John Wooden Pyramid of Success, and you'll see 25 character behaviors that are on this pyramid, such as friendship, loyalty, cooperation, alertness, poise, and confidence. There's 25 of them that he promoted. And when you think of that, you may wonder, what's that got to do with basketball? But once again, it wasn't about winning. It was about encouraging everyone to be the best person they can be. Not just the best basketball player, but the best all-round person that they can be. Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. And John Wooden is a great example of creative leadership, painting on the canvas of a diverse people. And the world needs more people like John Wooden. Another example is this lady, Erin Grunwell. Erin Grunwell is now part of the Freedom Writers Foundation. She started teaching in a high school in Long Beach, California in 1994. And she was assigned low-performing students who were labeled as unteachable, below average, and delinquents. One of her students stated, "On our first day, we only had 3 things in common. We hated school, we hated our teacher, and we hated each other." Through a combination of writing journals, reading relevant books, guest speakers, making movies of their lives, and other approaches, the 150 students published the Freedom Writer's Diary in 1999. This book was subtitled "How a Teacher and 150 Students Used Writing to Change Themselves and the World Around Them." These students have gone on to create the Freedom Writers Foundation. It is a nonprofit organization created to inspire young, underprivileged students to pick up pens instead of guns. The organization's overall purpose is to create opportunities for students to reach their full academic potential and aspire to higher education, and to promote an educational philosophy that values and upholds and honors diversity. And it inspires students to realize their roles that they have as members of their communities. Imagine helping all your students reach their fullest potential. If you're interested in learning more about the Freedom Writers, there's a 2007 movie which I would highly recommend. It is made in Hollywood, but people who worked on that movie were the students. They recreated the classroom and told them exactly what happened and how it worked. Aaron Grunwald is another example of a person who has used creative leadership to make people the best they can be. And the world needs more people like Aaron Grunwald. So before I go on to the third part of this workshop and how you can practice creative leadership, I want to ask you a couple questions. And after this workshop, after all, this is a workshop, so I'd like to hear your opinions. If you understand helping others become the best they can be and what it can do for you. So I would like you to type in in the comments and the chat box, but address them to me, not to everyone, because if you address them to everyone, they pop up and it's distracting. So you know how to find a specific person, the arrow, the drop down, send it to Fred Jones. And my first question is, what do you think would be the effects of creating a skill set of leaders who are creative leaders and empathetic leaders? What do you think that would have? People like John Wooden, if we could have a group of leaders like that. So I look forward to seeing anything you put in the chat box. I'll open it up. And please, as I said, address them to me. And in the meantime, I just wanted to indicate that, the cumulative of the effect of this over time could be profound. And do you think, what would your reputation be like if you were one of those creative leaders? So let's see, I've got, excellent video and audio. Oh, okay, thank you. At least maybe my internet is working. Now, the other thing about this as well is most people, and you'll find Aaron Grunwald didn't have any expectations, but they made their people feel valued and appreciated. And Raju said they will remember us long after we are gone. We leave a legacy, for sure, Raju. And I guess that's Maria. I did not know either of these examples you've shown, and already I wish to know more about them. Well, just watch the videos about freedom writers and just look at John Wooden, a very, very man who was very humble in many ways, a humble leader, but his results were outstanding. I'm going to ask another question. I think that's Maria said, I wish I was more like them. Well, it's easy. I'm going to show you an example on how you can start practicing it. So I've got another question for you as well. So if you can type in, the next question is, where do you think this works? Sort of the senior management, the middle management, or the low management? Where do you think it works best? Who, because often we don't teach our managers much when it's come about leadership. Normally what we do is we promote someone who's good at a job. They know how to do the job, but they don't know how to lead others. So any comments about that? Where do you think it works? Any levels? Again, type them into the chat box. Top management from Ayusha. Definitely top management would work. And as, there we are. Indeed, much lower too, as Sanjay said. I agree. I think it works with all levels. You build a culture. I was talking to someone recently, said it took one person to start helping others, and then others started helping everyone else. And the team spirit said it just was unbelievable what they experienced. And they introduced that there was a culture in their organization where people were saying, hey, let's celebrate things. Let's do things together. They built a team because everybody was helping each other. So you can start at the bottom over time, builds at all levels. Raju says, each one teach each other, each one teach one. Okay, thank you for those comments. I agree with everything you said. It's success breeds success, helping each other, everyone says, oh, they help me, I'll help them. And you will get help as well. Another question, what benefits to you if you become and help others succeed, how does it benefit you? What do you think you get out of it if you go and help others? So let's see if we have any comments. What do you think would help? Do you think it'll make you happy when you see somebody, your coworker, do well, pass their exam, or get a promotion? Raju again says, helping others means helping ourselves, as it gives an immense satisfaction. Totally agree with you, Raju. And sorry, I saw one, it just went on. It was Raskin, you will feel content. I feel content. An inner sense of self-happiness. Well, I agree with all of those because, like I said earlier on, so those were my questions. I guess there's one more question I can ask because we have people of different ages here. At what age does this work? Does it work when you're in school? Before you get a job? While you're in the job? While you're in middle life? When you're old like me and retired? Where does it work best? What ages? So let me check and see if we have any more comments. Nothing to do with age, but people you are around with. Raju, agreed. You know, I hate to tell you how old I am, but I have some young people, one of which you're going to meet tomorrow because he's speaking from Canada. He's 10 years old. And I have lots of friends of all ages. You should watch. I hope you're here to watch the 10-year-old speech. He has a very good speech for a 10-year-old for any age. So whoever is willing to learn, which is what Savrana said, doesn't matter what age. I totally agree with that because I've learned a lot as well as I've got older. All right, so far we've covered what is creative leadership. It's about helping others become the best they can be. And we've heard about two practitioners, John Wooden and Aaron Grunwald. But since you're probably not a basketball coach, or maybe you're not a school teacher, how would you start? So I want to share with you some ideas, and hopefully you can put as many of these into practice as possible. So the first thing that I would like to suggest is to listen. And I've heard people say listen all the time, but listen with humility. That's important. It's not all about you. You might find if you listen with humility that there's a better way to do things than you thought was the only way. And when we start out, this is a great way to learn realities that maybe were not as important as we thought we were. And we might have some attitude that needs to be readjusted when we listen with humility. And most likely, we might even learn some of the things we believed were wrong, which is similar to what Maria was saying just earlier. So listen with humility. And it reduces our ego because it's not all about us. And we look for opportunities to help others. And we attach ourselves to people and organizations like Agora who are already on their way to move forward. And there's another saying that I would like to share with you, 4 words, which I think can be very helpful, which is say little, but do much. Talk is cheap. We can all say do this, but do something. And I'll give you another example of what I think you can do, because I think that's important. And these are the 3 words that I'd like you to remember, which will help you do something that I think can have an impact. The 3 words are well, better, and best. And when you meet with anyone, maybe one person or a team or a group, ask the 3 questions. What went well since we last spoke? What has gone well? But what didn't go so well? What could we have done better? But what was the best thing that happened? And when we analyze AgoraCon, ask those 3 questions because it will help us improve. But a lot of good things come, and let's celebrate the best things that happen. Remember those 3 words because I believe that's a start on how to be a creative leader. And don't forget to listen with humility. So in summary, what I would suggest, meet regularly with others on your team, ask about what went well, what could have gone better, what was the best that happened since we met. Remember those 3 words, well, better, and best, and listen with humility. It's not about you, it's about helping others become the best. And I want to share with you something that Nelson Mandela said. I lived in South Africa for 22 years. Nelson Mandela was in prison. But one of the things that he shared, amongst many others, was he learned from his father that the senior people speak last. The leaders speak last. They would go around the circle and everyone would speak, and the last person to speak would be the leader. That's because you listen with humility and you learn a lot. And find maybe and study people like John Wooden and Aaron Grunwald. And as you practice creative leadership, your actions can learn more, do more, and become more. And with that leadership, we're looking to help Agra Speakers International find those who will actively build a better world. Helping others makes your own life fulfilling. And you'll aid Agra Speakers International to reach their mission. So my challenge to you is to start practicing creative leadership as soon as tomorrow. It's pretty late at night now, so maybe it's too late to start. In most cases, it's still morning here in Canada, but the rest of you can wait till tomorrow. And it'll help us accomplish our mission, which is an exciting and fulfilling mission. I look forward to working with all of Agra Speakers International in the coming years, as together we aid Agra speakers achieve their mission by implementing creative leadership. Over to you, meeting leader.
Okay, thank you so much, Agora speaker, for Fred Jones. So we really had a very wonderful session on dream, learn, do, and become. So that was really wonderful insight from you. So here we come to the end of day 2 with a lot of wonderful activities, keynote session, entertainment, lightning talk, flash talk, and that was wonderful contest as well. So we really had a very beautiful day. I'd like to thank everyone who supported for conducting this event. So I'm so much thankful for all the support from the people who have supported me at the different aspects. So I cannot forget the very active effort of Agora speaker Raskin Maharjan, Agora speaker Dr. Mukesh Malik, Ravi sir, likewise Pawan Dai, Sanjay Dai, Rosni, and isn't everyone who have supported on this. Likewise, I would like to thank all the participants who are still here till now, since maximum are already as. So with the permission of our conventioner Ravi Bhattrai, I would like to declare the program has come to an end. So the program has come to an end. Thank you, everybody.